Hey folks, welcome back to another Next Steps podcast. My name is Kim and I have been thinking about today, but really thinking about tomorrow and the next day and the next moment and the next year, and it's only January. I don't know about you, but do you ever think about the future? Like, do you worry about it, the uncertainties of it? Well, if you joined me in the last couple episodes, we've been talking about being too busy to be, being too busy to be present. And being present is where God is. God is here. He is now. He's with us in the present moment. He is not with us in the regrets of our past or the worries of our future. He is here and He is now. And today I want to talk about the fact that in order to be present and be present with God, we need to surrender our fear to Him. And Peter, the Apostle Peter, tells us in 1 Peter chapter 5, he says in verse 7, he says, cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. And maybe you've seen this before, or you've written it, or you've posted it before, and it's a great scripture, but sometimes I read it and I'm like, yeah, right, Peter, just let it go, like the movie Frozen. It's hard to do. It's very much harder to do than just read it or post it. But what I've realized is there's a verse before it that we need to read and embrace before we even get to this one. Verse 6 says this. Peter says, humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that He will lift you up in due time. And then he goes on to say, cast all your anxiety on Him, for He cares for you. Friends, it starts with humility. Humility is the key to surrender. Humility is the key to being present with God. Humility does this. It reminds us who God is and who we are not. God is God of gods. He is Lord of lords. He is all majesty. He is majestic. He is omnipotent. He is omniscient. He is always here. He always was and He always will be. He has known you. He has known you before you were even conceived. He's the God who sees. He's the God who provides. If you look in Scripture, His attributes are everywhere. One of my favorites is He is in control. He is our sovereign God. See, when I'm anxious, often I'm trying to control things. But the truth of the matter is, if I step back and thought about it, would I want to be in control of everything? Really? It's letting go of your control to God when you realize who He is. Because see, humility breeds worship. And worship causes us in humility to allow ourselves to let go and give it to God. Give our anxiety, our fears, whatever we've been dealing with to God. So picture this with me. This is what these verses show me. It's like a child lifting their hands up to be scooped up into their parents' lap. It's the same thing with us. Many times when I worship, I'll lift my hands up in praise to God. And we raise our hands up to God. Picture Him scooping you up, holding you close, and literally being there as we relay all of our fears and worries to Him. Because the more I realize who God is, the less I feel like I have to be. And the more I can give to Him because I trust in Him. So if you know, if you've seen me in the last couple episodes, you've known that I've asked you to get into your reminders on your phone and type the words be present to come up every few hours or even just once a day. So get those reminders back out again. And next to be present, type the word worship. Because the next time that comes up, ask yourself, am I feeling anxious? If I am, God, help me be present with you. Help me see who you are and worship Him. And then little by little, let go of your anxiety to Him. Because friends, He truly does care for you. And so remember, next steps are best and they are most successful when you do them with God and with others.